Okay.
All right, Glee.
So,
And that's what you missed on Glee.
Glee.
Characters and storylines, and some songs, obviously.
Yeah.
Any memorable characters from Glee that aren't Mr. Schuster? I mean, he's very memorable. He's just awful.
Yeah. I mean, I like Sue. I think she's memorable.
She's awful also, but she's very self-aware.
Yeah.
She knows she's a terrible person.
I mean, like, sometimes I just was like, I totally just, like, mood. Like, with anything she just marries herself. I'm like, mood, same. Like,
Oh my gosh, like Lizzo in her video for Truth Hurts. And then she has a baby. Sue had such a weird storyline, but I love that she had such a soft spot for Becky and
her sister.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I cried when her sister died.
Oh,
So story with me and Glee is I started it, and then I secretly watched it without my parents knowing. And then I went to season 3 or something like that. I went pretty far. Maybe season 2. And then maybe I just stopped. So I just didn't watch it anymore. And then 2 years later, my parents are like, "Hey," to me and my sister, they're like, "You guys should just watch Glee." And Emerson we just watched it, and I was like, "Hey guys, gotta come clean." Or just started watching it, and so I didn't watch the beginning with them again, or I did sometimes, but then I just rewatched the end, which was really bad.
Right.
But so I haven't seen it in a while.
Glee would never ever make it nowadays, so. But I think there's something about that show though that pretty cool. It really set up all of these. I mean, it set up musical theater and music for kids because, before Glee,
and
not many people were doing the musical. Yeah, somehow it's transcended, even though it's very problematic.
Very.
It's transcended. Yeah. It's classic now. I mean, I think you could consider it a cult classic.
Could. I don't know.
Could. I mean, it really set up this thing for after that, everyone had to make Glee. They had to make their own version of Glee.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess High School Musical started before Glee though, so maybe High School Musical set up for Glee. Okay. And Glee set up for everything else.
If you were in the Glee club, what sort of person would you be?
I feel like I'd try to be. Or no. I think I'm Mercedes, but I'm actually Tina.
Okay. I actually thought about this. I'd have the voice of Sugar because I can't sing. And then I'd have the attitude of Tina. I wouldn't think I could sing. Tina, she can sing, but she's kind of background, quiet.
Yeah.
Which
is so sad because Jenna is so good.
I know.
She's so amazing.
She just really didn't have that much a round character. It's just it's Tina.
They really slept on Jenna and Mike Chang's Harry Shum Jr. so talented.
I know, and
he's just slept on him. He was not in the show.
Yeah. But he was kind of a small character first season, if I remember correctly. And then there's another kid who was football team character, and he just disappeared second season.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I didn't even know if he had a name or anything. But
yeah, they both came in. They were like, "You guys got new members," and then where did those new members go? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people like Kurt. But I'm gonna just
he annoys me.
I didn't like Kurt, nor did I like Blaine. And I thought I don't know. I just thought both of their characters were preachy. They were trying to say oh, these are the characters you're supposed to like. And I'm I don't like you guys. I like Quinn.
You're quirky. Oh yeah, I love Quinn. I kind of like Blaine. I didn't really like him at the end or anything.
It became the Blaine show. Glee even addressed that it became the Blaine show.
Sue, when they locked them in an elevator.
That was such a weird.
I watched that and I was like, what?
And there was a little Sue dummy on a bicycle.
Yeah, on a little bicycle. so creepy. I was like, who came up with this? Like, what happened to the original plot?
Yeah, I love that TikTok that someone put out where they were like showing that scene where Artie like jumps into the or they did put Artie into the pool during the proposal.
Yeah, we watched that a bunch of times over and over again.
Yeah, and then I saw it on Kevin McHale's Twitter, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know what was going on there."
Yeah.
Do you listen to their podcast?
I've listened to like I've seen like videos on YouTube of their podcast, and I've seen a couple of those, but I haven't listened to their podcast.
I listened to their podcast before it became a Glee podcast. So I listened to it when it was just Showmance. And I thought that was really, like, I really liked it because I was like, they're talking about Glee a little bit, but then they're also talking with like people from Broadway and stuff. And I'm like, I'm a big Broadway nerd. That's not even true. You couldn't even consider me a Broadway nerd. I just like a couple of shows. But
you're more of a Broadway nerd than me.
Sure. But I know a lot about Broadway. But I only know a lot about Broadway, like Broadway people from like 3 different shows. Okay. So like if you were ever in Spring Awakening, I know who you are.
Okay. Falsettos, got you covered.
If you're ever in Falsettos, I know who you are.
Okay. What about like songs from Glee? Because there was like good songs, and then there was like really like who said this was a thing songs.
Like what does the fox say?
Roar. And I like just vibe this too, because they were like, they spent so much, they're like, we don't have money, and they just like have this like they're on like the stage, and they just have like all these costumes, and like they have like, I don't know, like sets and everything, and then Sue's like, how do you get all this money for these sets, like, or something like that.
That was the show kind of being self-aware of it. Like,
yeah.
You know, like they were like, well, let's have Sue say something because, you know,
she's the relatable. Okay. What songs did you like? So much.
Oh, favorite one, Cough Syrup. Like my favorite song from the whole show.
We've like talked about this. Like that song, like I was like listening to it and I was like, why is this song making me so sad? And then like you're like, it's from Glee, and then I like look up the scene and I'm like, this is why I feel so sad.
Not from Glee, but like the way you feel, the whole vibe of the song is very like upbeat and happy, and then when you listen to it closely you're like, oh yeah, this could have a different connotation.
Yeah, Quinn and Rachel, like pretty. I
love that song.
I love that.
Any song that Sunshine got to sing,
oh my gosh, she was so talented.
She was amazing.
Like her like listen, I was like, this is so good.
Yeah, I was like
she was like, whew. But like, okay, Mr. Shoe in the Rocky Horror, I was like, what? What are you doing?
Mr. Shoe every single episode. Mr. Shoe in the first episode where he like pins drugs on Finn.
Yeah, like
he plants the drugs and he's like,
like that's the only way to get kids to Glee Club.
Problematic.
Okay, what are your thoughts on Sam? I liked Sam in the beginning. Like I liked him and Blaine's friendship, kind of. I don't know.
Sam got so much like he just got so much slack from Santana for no reason. Yeah. She was just like trouty mouth. No reason.
Okay, well I would listen to Trouty Mouth. Like
I wonder if the actor now is like a little bit self-conscious about that.
Yeah. Remember when he was like in modeling? Like when they all were in New York, I was so confused. I was like, how is their apartment so big and so like cheap? I was like, how do they all like?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
It's kind of like the same thing with Friends, where people are like, now how did they afford those apartments in New York?
I know. Whenever I watch something for the first time, my immediate thing, I go on my phone and I look up the cast. I see where they're from. I do that all the time. And then I like during the show, like my parents, I talk during shows and they don't like they're always so mad at me because I'll just like talk and I'll be like, did you notice that? Or like I'll have a question or something, or I'll be like, well, do you think this relates to this or something?
Yeah.
And then I'll just like shout out like, oh, this person was in this show, and then they'll get so mad.
I used to do that a lot. I don't do it as much anymore because now I watch like the commentary YouTube videos